What's going on, people? Welcome back to Funnelhead.
Hello, and welcome back to Funnelheads. Today we have the full Carnival Pride ship tour. We got to sail on this beautiful ship for 19 nights pretty recently. So we have the entire ship for you with commentary. We're going to go through it all. If you have any questions, want more information, of course, just comment down below. I would really appreciate it if you like the video, and if you love cruise content, consider joining the channel by subscribing. We really appreciate it. But let's get right into today's video. Now, starting off on the lowest deck that guests are allowed to go, we have Deck A, and this is going to be where medical is located. This is the last place you want to be on your cruise, so be sure to pack your, medicines, prescriptions, all of that. But if you need something checked out, medical is the place to go. Now, moving up one deck, we have the Riviera Deck 1. Located on this deck, you have the chef's table, which is on the aft of the ship. Now, the chef's table is a multi-course dinner hosted by the master executive chef on board. This is a VIP experience that starts with cocktails and hors d'oeuvres, and it is limited to a group of 14. So if you want to do this, definitely reserve it ahead of time because it does sell out. It does range in price depending on ship, but you can expect to pay about $80 per person up to $100 per person. If you are a foodie, this is definitely a must. Now, continuing on Deck 1, you have the Butterflies Lounge located all the way forward. Now, this beautiful lounge here is, of course, butterfly themed, hence the name, and you can find different activities and events in this area like stand-up comedy, the military appreciation gathering, karaoke, and so much more. Now, these steps are located in the Butterfly Lounge on both the port and starboard side, and these stairs, if you take them up, will actually bring you up to Deck 2, which is going to be the Promenade deck. Now, if you decide to take these stairs up, they will actually leave you outside of the Tahj Mahal Theater, which is going to be the showroom on board the Carnival Pride. And this is an absolutely massive room that spans 3 decks, plenty of seats for everyone. However, some of the best seats are going to be in the middle area as well as the front area. And you can expect all types of different style shows, whether it be Vegas, Broadway, variety acts, and so much more. They also hold bingo here, cruise director shows, as well as the Platinum Diamond Party. If you are at those levels or statuses, this is where that party will be. Now, moving all the way forward on Deck 2 Promenade, you have the Normandy restaurant where you can eat breakfast, lunch, as well as dinner. You can also get brunch on sea days here, which we really enjoy. On this cruise for dining, we had your time dining, which we definitely prefer. The only downside to your time dining that we can think of is that you don't get the same wait staff each and every night. So, you don't get to experience getting to know the crew, which is definitely a plus. You can also select early or late dining if you do want to have the same staff. Some of our favorite dishes in the dining room include the cheese plate, mushroom soup, vegetable lasagna, lobster tail, as well as that chocolate melting cake. What are some of your favorites if you've cruised Carnival before? I want to hear in the comment section below. Now, coming out of the Normandy restaurant, you have the Alchemy Bar coming up. We are going to talk more about this in a second, but first we want to talk about the Beauties Dance Club, which is located on the left here. This is going to open late and stay open late. You have a DJ mixing it up in the nightclub. We actually enjoyed our time in here, not with the traditional dancing, but they did hold the silent disco, which me and Michelle really enjoyed. Sounds silly, but give it a try. I promise you will absolutely love it, just like we did. Now as you exit the Beauties Dance Club, you have the Alchemy Bar. Now this space is absolutely massive for an Alchemy Bar, especially on this class ship. They do have live music here each and every night. They rotate a lot of the artists, so you can expect to see different people playing in the Alchemy area. We really enjoyed grabbing a drink by one of the master mixologists and just listening to all of the amazing music. Some of our favorite drinks at the Alchemy Bar, mine is going to be an old fashioned, but Michelle definitely likes the basil drops. That's one of her favorites, as well as the cucumber sunrise. So give those a try. Let me know in the comment section below what drinks from the Alchemy Bar you usually order. Now continuing down the Promenade hallway, you come upon the main atrium of the Carnival Pride. Now we absolutely love this layout of the atrium, not so much the design. Not really sure what's going on with these almost like candle looking lights right here. They definitely have to go in my opinion, but the rest of the layout of the atrium is spectacular. Love the floating glass elevators, and just the layout in general, like I said, is really nice. You have the musicians that play right near the bar there. Of course, they rotate as well. Now, besides live music in the atrium, you can expect the captain's toast to be held here, dance classes, games, and so much more. You also have the shore excursions desk located right off the atrium. This is where if you have any questions about certain tours you can ask, or any issues, they can help you out. You can also book tours here. However, I highly recommend that you book your tours prior to your cruise so that way they don't sell out. Now, Dream Studios is also located off the atrium, and this is basically where you can hire a professional photographer for a session to shoot some amazing pictures for you, your family, whoever you're traveling with. Now, you don't pay them, per hour. However, you pay for the pictures afterwards. They can be very, very expensive, so just know that going in. And the last thing in the atrium to go over is the guest service desk. Now this is if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, that's where you will go. Now it does get very busy day one as well as the final day, so just note that. Located near the atrium is one of our favorite specialty restaurants, which is Bonsai Sushi. If you want a quick, pretty inexpensive meal, that is the place to go. Of course, if you like sushi, they have other options as well, but we absolutely love the food there. Now moving right past Bonsai Sushi, you have the Winners Club Casino. Now we are not gamblers by any stretch of the imagination. We do dabble here and there, so I can't give you a lot of specifics. It is a very large casino, however, lots of tables, lots of slot machines. One complaint that I did have, or one dislike, was that they actually removed the bar in the casino during Carnival Pride's last dry dock, so service for bar runners was definitely slower since people didn't have the option to go to a bar. There is the Heroes Tribute Sports Bar, which is next door, but it is a little bit out of the way. But beautiful casino. We definitely enjoyed playing there, even though we lost a little bit on our cruise. It was fun while we were there. Now as you leave the casino, you are in Piazza Cafe. Now this area is a great place to grab a book and read with breathtaking views, but they also hold lots of trivia games here. Great spot to grab a coffee as well. Off the Piazza Cafe, you have many different venues, but the first up is going to be the Heroes Tribute Sports Bar. I love this area on the ship. Now this was rebranded recently. This used to be the Skybox Sports Bar. I do love the fact that they were able to make subtle changes to just honor our heroes. What a great spot to, just watch some games and grab a drink. Now coming out of the Heroes Tribute Sports Bar, you have the Promenade Coffee Cafe. This is where you can get your specialty coffees, milkshakes, teas, desserts, and treats. Also to the right here, you have the Shore Excursion Adventure Store. Also located off of the Promenade area there, you have the Red Frog Pub. This is one of our favorite spots on the ship for live music, drinks, games. We bring Rhett in there quite a bit to play foosball as well as shuffleboard. Now moving on to deck 3, the Atlantic deck. We are near the front of the ship here, and the first spot I want to show you is going to be the Sunset Garden interior promenade. Now this is the perfect spot if you want some quiet to, curl up, read a book for the day, watch some amazing ocean views. This is, let's say, a best kept secret, even though it's very accessible. There are not a lot of people that come through this area. You can find a lot of crew hanging out, making phone calls and whatnot on their time off. Now eventually, if you keep walking in the interior Sunset Garden, you're going to come to some steps, and these are going to bring you up, of course, to deck 4. This is going to be the Cove area on board, which is basically a children's activity room. And then if you go up to deck 5, that is where Camp Ocean is. Now, of course, I couldn't record any of these areas because of security, and of course, they were closed at the time of recording since it was so early. But these are going to be basically the daycare on board. Now, on the left, they have the penguins, which is ages 2 to 5-year-olds. And then on the right, you have stingrays 6 to 8 and sharks 9 to 11. Now, our son, Rhett, absolutely loves camp. This last cruise, we couldn't keep him out of there. Half of it is just the counselors are wonderful, the crew on board are so good with the kids, and the other half is, just them doing so many different things, whether it's arts and crafts, choose their own playtime, as well as, video games and things of that nature. So he really, really enjoyed it, and, most kids do, so definitely give it a try if you have children. Now coming back down to deck 3, we are on the other side of the interior Sunset Garden, and now we are going to visit the exterior promenade on board the Carnival Pride. Now this is a pretty massive area. The only downside about this area is that it doesn't wrap all the way around the ship, so if you were thinking about doing some laps as far as exercising or something of that nature, unfortunately you can't go all the way around. However, a lot of people were still working out down here. They would just go from one end to the other. It basically forms a big U around the outside of the ship, of course. But you got some spectacular views. This is also the spots that we would come take pictures quite frequently during our cruise, especially before or after dinner, if we had sunsets, things like that. Now coming back in from the exterior promenade, we have what's called the Via Veneto. I think I said that right, promenade or upper promenade area. Now this is an area where you can access many different venues. There's also, if you remember earlier in the video, those steps from near where the Heroes Tribute Lounge and the coffee place was. Those steps will actually take you to this area as well. And you have the Warehouse Arcade as well as the Piano Bar right in this area. We're going to check out the Warehouse Arcade first. Now this is one of my least favorite areas on board the entire ship, especially if you have kids. It is so expensive in the arcade. I swear you can burn through more money in the arcade than you can in the casino at times, and I'm not even joking about that. Rhett absolutely loves this area, our 6-year-old son. We limit him to around $10 a cruise in the arcade, which really is like 2 or 3 games depending on which machines you spend it on. Coming out of the warehouse arcade, again, you have those beautiful steps that I was just talking about, and this is going to lead us to me and Michelle's favorite spot, which is the Ivory Bar, or the Piano Bar. The Piano Bar on this ship is really massive. There was really never nights where it was, so full that we couldn't find a seat. There are spots that are definitely better than others. As you can see, the bar kind of wraps around to the right there. So if you're all the way to the right of the bar, you're not going to be able to see the piano man playing, which may or may not be a huge deal. We really enjoy watching the piano man play and sing and all of that. So I would recommend getting a seat either at the piano or, right in the front area there. But definitely one of the better spots on board as far as entertainment. Now, coming outside the piano bar, or the Ivory Bar, we are back in the Via Veneto hallway here, and this is where the Carnival Pride keeps all of its plaques, awards, recognitions, things of that nature. They have this beautiful display here showcasing all of those, and that's where a lot of times, the ship will enter a territory for the first time. Usually that destination will give them some type of, again, like plaque, key, different types of artwork, and on the Carnival Ecstasy we actually saw them auction off quite a few of those items that were, for the Carnival Ecstasy, of course. Continuing on, you have the cherry on top, as well as the fun shop stores. Now, of course, this is all tax-free, duty-free stores. They do have warranties on board, so if you're looking for some jewelry, sunglasses, cologne, perfume, bags, anything like that, they pretty much have it. Now, some of the items can be more expensive, especially if you forgot, your seasick medicine or, things of that nature. It can be very expensive, so definitely try not to forget that, but they do have them there just in case. Also, your t-shirts, ship models, all that good stuff is located here. Now, coming out of the fun shop area, we are back in the Atrium, just one deck up. Now, if you see on the left there is a showcase that says The Wall. I would check that daily. If your picture ends up in there, it is absolutely free, and we've actually gotten a couple of them before, so definitely check, like I said, daily. And this is the area that if you got your pictures taken before the cruise, during the cruise, at destinations, they're all going to be in this area for you to look at. Moving from the Pixels Gallery, you have the Raphael Lounge. Now, this is actually the bar that we went to before dinner on most nights because it is located right near the Normandy restaurant, which makes it very convenient. We would basically request our table for your time dining. It would take usually 5 to 15 minutes at the most. Grab a drink, and by the time we got our drink, dinner was ready. Also, the art gallery is located right off this area. It was closed at the time of recording, but it is just a room that they set up with lots of different art. If you're into art and art gallery, art auction, all that good stuff. Now from here, we're moving all the way to the Lido deck. Deck 9, of course, decks 5, 6, 7, and 8 are all guest cabins, so I'm pretty sure you didn't want to see all of that. So this is going to be the Serenity area, which is aft on deck 9. This is definitely one of the better Serenity areas on board a Carnival ship. I wouldn't say the best one, but of course this is the adults only area where you have your own pool, hot tub, bar, and plenty of comfy loungers as far as the eye can see. It also helps that it is on the aft because you do get, while you're, of course, sailing, the noise from the propellers and the wake, which is definitely makes this area even better. Just a perfect area to grab a book or maybe take a little nap in some sun. Now coming in from Serenity, you have the Mermaid Grill Lido restaurant, which is going to be the buffet on board for breakfast, breakfast, lunch, and dinner if you choose to do so. You can also find pizza here as well as deli sandwiches. It is a very large Lido buffet area, lots of different options, so that does definitely help. However, I do recommend that when you can, definitely get food from the restaurants, whether it's the main restaurant or specialty dining on board. Now off of the buffet, you have the steps that will lead you to the Fahrenheit 555 specialty restaurant. Now this is rebranded just recently at Dry Dock. It was still a specialty restaurant, just named something else. Now this specialty restaurant is going to cost around $50 per person, and not only is the menu and the food very, very good, lots of different options, but the room, the venue is just breathtaking with that translucent glass from the funnel. It just makes the whole room almost this pinkish glow, especially when the sun hits it just right. So I do recommend trying it out once if you do have a little bit of extra money to splurge. Continuing out of the Mermaid Grill, you have the main Lido area. This is where you're going to find Guy's Burger, which is always a good time. I always get my cheeseburger and then I go to the toppings bar and absolutely stack toppings on it. It is an absolute mess, but definitely delicious. On the other side, of course, you have the Blue Iguana Cantina. This is where you can get many different items for breakfast and lunch, including breakfast burritos, lunch burritos, tacos, taco salad. My favorite part is the salsa bar. They have amazing different types of hot sauces and spices. Highly recommend getting at least a couple times on board. The one thing about this ship that's great is that they have the retractable roof as well as two pools. So one basically inside pool if the weather is no good, and an outside pool. Along this, you have both adult bars on either side, whether you're a Blue Iguana Tequila drinker or a Red Frog Rum Bar drinker. Let me know which side you are on in the comment section below. We absolutely love the Cruiser and Red Frog's Remedy on the Red Frog side, so I think we're going to have to lean the Red Frog side. This is the outdoor pool. We did get to enjoy it quite a bit because it was very warm on certain days, but it is great to have, both that indoor outdoor pool just in case the weather turns bad, like I was saying. Past the outside Lido pool, you have some outer decking that you can walk around, some beautiful views, especially at the front of the ship. The glass panels to the right there are actually the gym, so if you're working out, you also get some nice views of the front of the ship as well as the port and starboard side. Now, speaking of the gym, let's go in and take a look. Now, for me, the layout of the gym is a little bit weird. They do have a lot of equipment in there, which is nice, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. It didn't bother Michelle at all, but just the fact that they have steps in the gym to get to different machines, I don't know, it just throws it off for me just a little bit. Not the end of the world by any means, but this is what I'm talking about here. So on each landing you have a few pieces of equipment. I know some gyms at home are set up like this as well, so again, I don't think it's a big dislike for many people, but for me it was a little just a bit awkward here. Now, as you can see, there are a lot of machines to choose from, and they also brought in a lot of newer machines because of Dry Dock. They kind of revamped this fitness area. They also added this free weight area, which is really nice and open. This is actually one of the cycle class areas if you want to sign up for one of those. Moving on to the spa itself, and this is more what I'm talking about, less gym, more relaxation. Now the massages and treatments are definitely expensive on board, so just know that going in. They are lovely. The only thing is that they do a hard sell on a lot of the products that they use, so just know that going into it. This is the relaxation room, which you'll be before your treatment, whatever treatment you're getting. You get some nice lemon water or orange water. The male locker room, as well as the shower area. They also have sauna rooms on board. And the last venue that's kind of part of the spa and fitness area is the salon. So if you want to get your nails done, hair, anything like that, this is the place you would go. They have a wide range of, different treatments and things to do. Just make sure you get those appointments. Coming out of the salon, we're going to go one deck up to the sun deck. This is a deck where, again, they have a lot of outdoor decking. Great place to get some beautiful views, maybe exercise if you just want to get your steps in for the day. But we love just going in, especially like early morning, walking around with a cup of coffee or whatnot, and just taking in all the sights of the beauty around. Now, one deck up from here is going to be the sports deck forward. This is where you can find mini golf as well as the jogging track if you actually want to go on a run or a long walk. They also have the basketball court. This also just recently can transform into a pickleball court, so they did have pickleball on board. I know that is becoming widely popular. I play every now and then as well, so if you are into pickleball, they do have it. It's not every day. I want to say it's maybe every other day depending on weather, but they do have the option for that. Now at the aft sports deck, you have the 2 water slides that are on board, as well as Waterworks, which is a children's splash area. Now, unfortunately, we didn't get to go on any of these while we were on board. The weather was nice, but it wasn't that nice to go on water slides or in the splash park, although our son probably would have if we let him. Now, the green slide is called Green Thunder, and the yellow one is called Twister. Now, Green Thunder is the one where you actually go into basically an encapsule, and then the crew member presses a button and the floor drops out and you basically just drop down. It also hangs off some of the side of the ship, which is definitely nerve-wracking. And the last area that we're going to go over is the Sky Deck, or Deck 12. This is my favorite area on the ship, and that is because the funnel is located up there. They don't call us funnel heads for no reason, so this is just my happy place. I see that beautiful whale tail and just can't help but smile. I did get super scared up here because you'll see it in a second, but the horn ended up going off. I swear they did it on purpose, but what a way to end the video, right? Now that is the full ship tour of the beautiful Carnival Pride. If you have any questions, need more information about anything in regards to this ship or just cruising in general, let me know in the comment section below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Please like the video. It did take me a lot of time to edit it and put all this together, so I really appreciate it. It just gets it out to more people that need the information. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Again, we do regular cruise content here, so if you love cruising, want information, vlogs, really anything cruise related, we'd love to have you. As always, thank you so much for your continued support. Hopefully we'll see you right back here in the next video or on a cruise ship one day. Catch you later.